Day 7, no power. Don't even know when our power is going to be restored at this point because the time keep changing. But let me show y'all how dark it is. There we go. Completely dark. It's not safe. People are breaking in people's houses and everything. We are currently day.
Shalom, Yashala. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Chachodash, the honest and beloved elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. While peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. And I'm doing this lesson, based on the power outage that's going on, in Gary, Indiana, which is, man, you don't see this going on in the Beverly Hills. You don't see power outages going on in the Hollywood Hills, or out there in Manhattan Park, Upper Manhattan Park, where all the rich Edomites are, because this is like Flint, Michigan, that had problems with their city utilities for their water. Gary, Indiana is predominantly, they say, 80 to 90% black, so-called. It's a Southern Kingdom mixed with, Judites, so-called black people that think that they're Judah, but, are really Gad, Reuben, whatever it is that their tribe goes back to. But the point is that the tribes are here, in Gary, which we know that, hey, man, they're under the curses right now. They're all fucked up, cracked out, breaking into shit, on gang violence, all this stuff. But who is the person that put those type of environments in the areas that Jake was at? Just like that their infrastructure is the weakest because of red line districts that happened after World War II. That after a lot of the main homes and subdivisions and communities were being brought up, like the Leave It to Beaver age, 1950s golden age of America, everybody buying a home, white picket fence, there were certain areas of the country that minorities, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were pushed to a corner, where the word ghetto comes from, but the point being is that it's now I went to Google and it's as of 11th and it's the 23rd today. This is 12 days without power, about to go into the 13th. And they're already, as this woman was saying, having people break into homes because a lot of these people that have abandoned homes have their shit has been broken into, and this is only day 7. And you got people trying to break into houses, whether they're trying to come up, and catch a lick and get a gold chain, get a gun, get some riches that somebody left in their house, but soon enough people are going to be doing those things just for the bare necessities to survive, and you can see a lot of videos on TikTok and Instagram showing you different people's stories on how they're getting through a power outage. Some people, are just stuck in their house. Some people are going to the food banks every day and waiting in lines, that are taking them 4 hours, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours just to go through, man. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands, let me say that, thousands and thousands of people are doing that same thing right now, and I just did also see an update that there was a storm near the Memphis, Tennessee area, and another predominantly black so-called area, the Southern Kingdom, and it says 100,000 plus customers without power. So you see how this can, how do you say, have a domino effect, because there's certain, if you look at the American grid system on how their power works, if there's a couple of major substations that go offline or have issues because of the electrical grid, the whole country could lose power. It doesn't just have to, just because it's happening in Tennessee and Indiana, there could be a one more substation or something that goes wrong, and the whole eastern seaboard of the United States, the continental United States, could lose power. So don't think that this is just coincidence, because the elites are testing how far they can, control these things. And not to mention that this place is degrading and the infrastructure of this country is now 30, 40 years behind schedule being replaced. A lot of the residents you see were complaining about, in other videos that I saw, were complaining about the city never, did any maintenance on the power lines, even though they saw that trees were obviously damn near touching them, you know. But what I want to highlight on this moment and of what's going on over there is that, hey man, this is when it's going to be survival of the fittest. And this is just one of the most recent examples of that we have of showing you that people are going to get violent and break into invade each other's homes for what's going on, you know. So I'm going to start 2nd Ezra 15:1, and then I'm going to bounce around a little bit. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So the message that I'm bringing you here today, you know, is coming out of the Bible, you know, and this is 2nd Ezra, found in the Apocrypha, you know, or if you have a 1611 King James Version Bible, it is included, you know. So what we're telling you, based on scriptural and prophecy, is that we're going to paint a clear picture for you what's going on. You know, this is here we go. Yeah, I'll start at 11. You know, I'll get all the meat off this bone. This is 2nd Ezra 15:11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand. I'm gonna start at 12. Egypt shall mourn. 2nd Ezra 15:12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring upon it. You know, and what you're seeing right now is the economic degrading of society. You know, everybody losing jobs, the AI taking over. You know, you're going to see the military morale fall, which you're seeing right now with the Navy all over the world. You're going to see natural disasters plague this place. You know, these different diseases, as well as the natural disasters and the El Nino year that they're talking about. It's going to be a record hurricane season. You know, what else? World War III, the different allies that are losing their friendship with Babylon the Great. You got Babylon going a tariff economic war with Canada with 50% tariffs on all their imported goods. You know, and I know the company I work for specifically, they're split between Canada and the United States. You know, so how does a company that is based in Canada but also based in the United States, but they're both making money? See, so Esau's losing wisdom, like scripture says, there's no more wisdom in Teman. So that's all part of the plagues. Not to mention the people are going to be rebelling. You had what's happened in Dearborn, Indiana or Illinois. I can't remember what state, Salakia, but it was in Dearborn, Michigan. That's what it was. Dearborn, Michigan, where you had a big group of Muslims go against, you know, a bunch of damn modern day crusaders. You know, so sedition among men is coming. And that love for your neighbor has been never here in Babylon the Great. That's only been a facade that Esau has made up so that he can weasel his way into the minds of these people, man, and think that he's some good guy to live next to, man. So this 2nd Ezra 15:12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn. And we're dealing with that right now. You know, the fertilizer issues. There's a lot of livestock that's being unalived. There's Tyson that laid off like 700 employees because there was no meat for them to buy to process. You know, the different diseases that happen. You know, the antibiotics it takes just to raise the cattle. And we get most of the antibiotics from China. And there's a trade war going on with there. So you see, the GMO seeds ain't GMOing like they used to. So Esau has to use all these chemicals, you know, but he's got to get these chemicals from China because he doesn't produce anything here. You know, so this is just, hey man, it's plain to see if you've been paying attention. You know, if you've been you open fucking Instagram, TikTok, like I said, and you'll see what's going on in the world. You know, if your algorithms aren't completely taken over by fucking ass and fucking DIY videos, man. You know, what are you looking at online, man? You should be using them as tools, you know, and access to information than to fucking entertain and doom scroll on your phone. This is 2nd Ezra 15:13. Again, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail and with a fearful constellation. You know, so hey, the elements are going to work against this place. You know, you're going to get a random freeze right when things are starting to, you know, poke through the ground when they're most vulnerable, and another crop gone. You know, it's going to be just like that. This is verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, You know, woe means destruction because there ain't nothing good coming out of except the kingdom. This is talking about you. This is a warning to you wicked people. And this also keeps the fear in the mind of the believers because we know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is it that keeps us safe. Is he that keeps us safe, man. It's not anything that we can do to prepare carnally in this world to keep us from these things that I'm about to read from you. You have to have divine intervention, protection, and the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to be able to bear these things that we're going to go through. 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know, a lot of these videos coming out of Gary, Indiana are showing fucking Jake with their pew-pews, man. They're walking around, the woman saying that I don't go anywhere without my mace in my hand. I'm not walking from A to B. We're turning our lights off in our house to not attract attention because everybody knows we're just women here. You know, I've seen all types of videos coming out. This is very, you know, eye-opening if you haven't been paying attention to the type of environment that all of Babylon the Great's going to be into when these things go down. This is continuing 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is going against the government, going against whoever's in charge, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're not going to care about your laws. They're not going to care about order. It's going to be survival of the fittest. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, like we're seeing right now. And also, too, you're not going to be able to leave whatever city you're in. Let's say you're just visiting there for the weekend, man. You're not even going to be able to leave that city because the roads are going to be jammed up. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. That's why, hey, man, you know, as bad as it is, man, a lot of the fucking Jake that's in Gary, Indiana is 2/3, man. Fucking wicked, cracked out. You know, I understand they're under the curses, man, but the Lord has them in that condition for a reason, you know, to get judgment. And I've seen the videos coming out that you still got motherfuckers in wheelchair trying to do a crip walk with their hands, man. Like, you already got shot in the spine and you still want to bang on that a gang? Fucking grow up, man. That's why Jake, man, yeah, stay in the fucking blacked out condition, man. You know, that's just the Lord judging that place. You know, but with that being said, you know, continuing, 2nd Ezra 15 and 18 again, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Why is this going to happen? Why are people going to bug out and do all those heinous acts? It's going to tell you specifically right here. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You know, so they're going to hear the wars. And on top of that, they're going to be stressed out from hearing the wars, losing their job, money collapsing, society going crazy. And then on top of that, they're going to be hungry. They're going to want food. And I'll tell you what, even me, myself, man, I get cranky. You know, you can't help it sometimes. You get cranky when you fucking get a little hungry, man. But, you know, we understand that, hey, man, once you get past that level and you just, you know, take it, you know, because it's all a mental thing. You're like, okay, well, I'm hungry and I still haven't ate anything. Hey, now I'm damn near in a 16-hour fast. You know, now this is actually helping my body. We have a different mentality about it, man. You know, but the people without the Spirit and without the Lord, hey, they're gonna be thinking, oh, I'll eat my best friend if I have to. Like Alex Jones said, I'll eat my neighbor. You know, and he was dead ass serious about it too. You know, so again, just to highlight what's going on, you know, out there in Gary, Indiana, that this is just a precursor, and it could be the elite practicing to whether they, hey, man, hit the off switch. Let's see if it works. Boop. You know, but also you have people saying that their car batteries weren't turning on. You know, at the same time. So they said that they might have been hit with like a mini EMP because even some of the batteries that they had in their flashlights were fried. But, you know, that's all hearsay. You know, but we know Esau's always up to no good. So Lord willing that this lesson, you know, was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachach Chadash, and double honors to love the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Wah. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.